Oh, and we're on you, Scotty. Go on then. Do the introduction. If we there. Oh, okay, on me. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, the wide. Can we have the wide? Yeah, there we go.
Intro, like,
there you go. Bit of dramatic intro. This is Scotty and Motty. Welcome and thanks for your patience. They're a little bit later than usual, but we'd like to keep you waiting. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. That scared the shit out of me, to be honest.
I feel sorry for the viewers because the first thing they saw was a close-up of you and then me.
I know, and you know, when I see the close-up of me...
getting worse as it goes along.
I think that I'm dressed like I'm in Miami Vice.
What is this? What is the look you've gone for? Is it Miami Vice?
No, it wasn't, but that's what it felt like.
It does feel like sort of, is it pink pastel type t-shirt?
I like wearing some loud
You
colours
carry it
and
off
stuff.
though.
Oh, thank you very much.
Do you know what
But
I mean?
when I see it up close like that, it was a bit... Maybe I shouldn't have worn that.
Get involved in the chat and the comments because this is live. We do this live now, me and
man.
Scotty. And as you may have guessed from the thumbnail, we're going to talk about Michael Owen because it's easy to hate on Michael Owen, isn't it? For several reasons.
Yeah, I mean, for
Like-
footballing reasons, and I think as a football fan, you have certain reasons to dislike his commentary. But today, the Telegraph have come out with an article saying that, you know,
Laying into
him.
I mean, basically, what's that? Michael Owen's been getting it both barrels. His daughter's gone in Love Island, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But obviously, people have been like, "Oh, your daughter's in Love Island, right?" So it's a bit of grief there. But that's not why he's been getting stick from this article in the Telegraph, and a lot of stick online is about his commentary. They're like people just find him beige, and it's weird because with most players, they have like, especially successful players, they have a fan base. So Rio Ferdinand, all United fans love him. Steven Gerrard, all Liverpool fans love him. Michael Owen, United fans don't really love him. Liverpool fans don't really love him. Stoke fans don't really love him. Newcastle fans don't really love him. Madrid fans, I don't think, are bothered about him. It's not like anyone's like got his back.
He's in like former player limbo, isn't he?
Yeah. And I think that he tries to pander slightly to the Liverpool fans because I think he still does some stuff with them. I remember I spoken to a Liverpool fan.
He supports them as well, doesn't he?
I think he is a Liverpool fan. I think, which I don't know though. He might not be. It's weird if he is that he played for United, but you never know. But I think he still does some corporate stuff and like he's a bit of a, you know, an ambassador. Not so much for the Scouts Liverpool fans, but abroad. So his star is slightly higher if he goes to like the Far East or whatever.
What do you associate him with though? Because he's always Liverpool with me.
Oh,
even though he's had all them different clubs and stuff,
I mean,
and he won the league with United.
The only thing with the league winning United was it was like funny because Gerrard never won the league, and Michael Owen won the league at United. But I wouldn't associate him with United at all. I just think of him as a Liverpool fan. No,
but I mean, all that considered, it's still no excuse for sort of mainstream media to be running an article, giving more ammunition. And he's come out and actually mentioned it today, and he's replied saying, continuation from last week where it's all hate Michael Owen or something.
Yeah, I'll get into the, I'll find the tweet that he's done and the article itself.
I mean, his commentary isn't fantastic, but when you look at the amount of ex-pros that are on the likes of BT Sport or BBC or Sky, you know, there are a lot of bad comment. Paul Merson's made a career out of it.
Paul Merson. I love Paul Merson. You see that video doing the rounds with like the Soccer Saturday panel questioning the signing of De Bruyne?
Yeah.
Saying how like 50 million on him. Oh, it went to Wolfsburg for 18 million or whatever, what they're thinking of City and all this. It's horrendous. And it's obviously from people that just didn't watch German football.
But does this happen if his daughter isn't in Love Island?
I still think to a certain degree that it does. I think he is.
Do they run the article though?
Oh, right, that's a good question. Let's get into it anyway. Let's explain what we're on about because people are going, what do you mean? So, first of all, there's the article that's got in the Telegraph by some guy called Alan Tyers. I don't know who he is. But the title is The Phrase No Football Fan Wants to... Have we got that, Sash? Can we get it on the screen? If we can, the article. You'll be able to see it in a minute. The phrase No Football Fan Wants to Hear from their TV. Joining me is Michael Owen. And then it goes, the subheading says, Channel 4 has had a kicking for its coverage of the Nation League. Some of it has been unfair, but Owen's punditry has been human night. So he was obviously working for Channel 4 Nation League coverage. I mean... The Nation League itself.
The football, I mean, what's he going to do?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it wasn't great, is it? So it goes on to say that, and then it's sort of, it's obviously the article just sort of mentions Owen and the commentary and stuff. I mean, picture there, the article itself. Owen replied to this because it was tweeted, and he replied saying, "And the everybody abused Michael Owen theme of last week continues." And when I saw that, I kind of felt a little bit sorry for him, you know. I just a little bit.
I do feel a bit sorry
like,
for it.
I don't know, but are we being soft? Because it's like, he's paid a lot of money, and if you're in the public eye, I mean, me and you had it, yeah? Like, we've been trolled.
Yep.
I
expect it from the general public. I don't expect it from mainstream media to give the general public ammunition.
That's fair.
And that's what it seems like. And it seems like, especially the stuff regarding Michael Owen's daughter being in Love Island, it's pretty much a clickbait. We'll all just jump on the bandwagon.
No, you might have something there. Because
Michael Owen isn't the worst commentator out there. What's his name? Martin Keown is, you know, and if you're going to start firing shots at commentators, there are worse than Michael Owen.
Yeah, Martin Keown is terrible. There's a few others as well that talk sport a lot, if you can call them commentators. A lot of them just say clickbait
outlandish
things like, you know, Fergie wasn't that great, or Cannonau was rubbish, or do you know what I mean? Whatever.
You'd expect it from a Red Top, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
To do that article, not the Telegraph.
Yeah, you would. You're right. You would expect it from a Red Top, and that's the thing with the Telegraph. You've always thought the Telegraph, it would be a little bit more highbrow than that, if that's the right term, a little bit more well thought out, and that is just like, that's something where it's almost like a blog, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than a sort
serious
of serious journalism piece. Let's get into some of the comments and see what people are saying about it, because there is a sort of, to play your role, someone's put Jermaine Jenas in here. A counter argument. I know he gets a lot of stick, doesn't he, Jermaine Jenas? A counter argument is, you know, he's paid a lot of money, so. He is paid a lot of money. You're in the public eye. You're on a terrestrial television show. So you're on BT. You're on Channel 4. You're on... Does he do the BBC as well or something?
He might have done a few times.
You do a lot anyway.
Yeah.
So is it like, well, if a newspaper wants to critique you, is there a point we say, well, you don't pay millions of pounds. You are, you know, a mainstream pundit. Then... if someone thinks you're terrible, they've not got a choice to, or you know, the right to criticise. In the same way that if you released a programme that was rubbish and someone criticised it, or whatever.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think the general public's got every right to criticise.
But not the paper. You think the mainstream?
I think the paper should have a little bit more about them than just singling out one person. That's what I mean. I just think the timing's a little bit funner. And then that Nations League or National League, whatever it's called.
I see you take a vested interest in it like me.
Yeah.
You're a hardcore Nations League fan.
Yeah.
Who won it? Is it still going on?
I think Botswana.
Botswana?
Yeah.
I thought United won it. Someone told me United won it. Lying to me. I'll get into some of the comments. Botswana. Matthew Sargent says, flatmate is a Liverpool fan. Only thing we have in common is hating Owen. See? Michael Owen's bringing...
people together through their hatred.
Through their hatred. So give me credit.
An olive branch across the M62.
Yeah. Lee Padden says, Michael Owen is an idiot. Right, okay, there's more. I love that.
You should have left it.
Yeah, Michael Owen is an idiot. That's it. He says, Michael Owen is an idiot, and this is in inverted commas. I still think Liverpool are the best team in Europe. They weren't even the best team in their own country. Yeah, this is after. Did you watch the Champions League final?
Yes.
Yeah, we spoke about it before, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, forgive me.
I went out with a Real Madrid top on and really enjoyed myself following that.
Good lad, I'm proud. Do you know what? That's the sort of shithousery I can get behind.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, so after the game, obviously, he said when Liverpool lost, I still think they're the best team in Europe, which people have sort of mocked because it's like, well, you didn't win the Champions League, Real Madrid did. You didn't even win your own league, so how can you be the best team in Europe?
Yeah.
Which...
horrendous take. Not the only pundit to make horrendous takes.
Yeah, that is both of what you've just said
and the critique on his commentary, Michael Owen isn't hired because he's... what's his name? I was going to say Motson, isn't it? Motson.
Are you okay up there?
I was blending.
I think it's safe to say we can't criticise anyone's punditry. We can't remember whose name we're trying to say.
I was doing like a hybrid Jay Motter and John Motson.
John Motson.
Yeah,
so you went Jay Motterson.
Jay Motson.
Yeah, which is nobody, but both of us.
But he's hired because he's got that skill set, and that's why he's got the job. Michael Owen's hired because he's Michael Owen and he's achieved things, or not so many things, in a football.
Ballon d'Or winner though, isn't he?
Surprisingly, but
sound like Alison then. Yeah. But you're right, and he's kind of iconic in a way. Excuse me, that's disgusting. because of that goal against Argentina.
Yeah.
Like, there was a time when everyone was behind Michael Owen as a nation, and you remember that goal, and there's that. But
do you hate him though? Like, I mean, do you hate anybody? I think sometimes
you know me for best part of 2.5 decades. Of course, I hate people.
Yeah, but not enough about your relationship with your missus.
Whoa!
Keys locked in.
Hey, that's me in the shed tonight. Hey, thanks for that.
That's the bus.
Yeah, that's it. Do you know what I mean?
Obviously, I'm just
kids. I'll see you at the weekend.
Yeah,
possibly. No, I mean, I hate a lot of people. Yeah. You know when people say I don't hate anyone, I think I fucking do.
Do you really?
Oh, I've
carry a lot of hate.
It's weird though because like, yeah, but
Why?
It's not hate that keeps me awake at night or like. I hate a lot of the politicians that run this country.
I understand that, but I mean, really hating like a footballer is
oh, right. In terms of football, no, I don't. I think we've moved on that era, you know. When I was younger, there was a lot of hatred for a lot of footballers. Like, I hated certain players. I hated John Terry for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, it was about 5 or 6 years ago, or about 8 years ago, whatever. But now I think there's more, as football's become a little bit more sort of, I don't know what the right word is, global maybe. It seems like you watch more football and there's more of it, like, there's players you don't like, but I don't think you've got those characters and I don't think you've got those feelings towards footballers of hatred that you used to have.
No.
Like, for example, who are United's biggest rivals?
Liverpool.
Who's their best player?
Ever?
No, now.
Oh, Mo Salah.
Do you hate him?
No.
No, I don't. Who's
it an age thing,
Who's
though?
our derby rivals? City. Who's their best player? De Bruyne. Do you hate him?
No, I don't hate. No.
No.
That's the thing. Is it an age thing though? Because when you're right, when we were growing up, it was more feral, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Like, you know, me and you've been at games and screamed horrible things at people.
I remember coming back after Liverpool beat United 4-0
at
Old Trafford. It was 4-0, 4-1.
Is that the one where
Torres?
Oh, 4-1, 4-1. Yeah, I was at that game
and
as well.
Walked back into the Georgian Dragon, and there was a Liverpool fan in there, and I knew it was like a mate of a mate, and I've said something just like fucking, I don't know, scouse this or whatever. Yeah. And then later on in the evening, he's phoned his brother to come round and beat me up because we were having a conversation over. And I was like, and do you know what I mean? And then that's the sort of just
that
over
was
football.
It, yeah.
That's how heated it got.
It did. You know, I've seen things like that. I've seen, you know, loads of fights. There was, you know, players giving it to fans even at, you know, not on Twitter and all that, but like there was like you say, feral's a good description of it. Now I feel like it has moved slightly away from that.
I mean that's even why it's more embarrassing that Telegraph have done that article, then because they're like fueling the fire to try and make more of it than necessary.
Do you think it's sort of maybe trying to be down with the kids? Like, I'm going to try and, you know, connect to something here.
Yeah, you know what it's like? It's like when your dad bought a pair of Nike Air Max. You know, try to be cool.
I am now that dad. My kids are going, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know exactly
when your dad buys a pair of Nike Air Max, starts doing TikTok videos. I'm not joking. Sort of. Lee Padden says, oh no, I've done that one. Yeah, oh, hang on, let me find some. Here's one. Colin says, Danny Murphy got to be top tier for the worst. I think part of it is, like, someone like Danny Murphy, because he's got that association with Liverpool, you've always got your back up slightly as a United fan, and especially when you feel like he's been a little bit unfair towards your team. I think that's more with Danny Murphy.
Yeah, and I think he puts a bit of needle in because he is a Liverpool fan. And also you have to remember with people like Danny Murphy or and everybody else who works for TalkSport in terms of the punditry, it is a station that's commercial and it's run based on listeners, you know what I mean? That's why they get divisive figures on there.
They do. Miss Man United, my lady friend, says, oh God, I've got a list of footballers I hate. She has as well. Michiel de Groot, forgive me if I've got that completely wrong, says, getting paid millions to have bad takes is an amazing gig. Just be humble and laugh at yourself and you take all the fire out of the criticism, to be honest.
There we go. That's a lovely take.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, sorry, it can take a bit of that.
Asked. That's what I'd be like. Look at my bank account in the morning. Like, I give a shit what at 426 Scouse.
This is a good point. Dan Oliver says, can't hate Owen. The helicopter ad he did for Dubai was comedy gold. Have you ever seen that?
Yes, absolutely brilliant.
Oh, that is genius, that, isn't it? That is absolute peak accidental partridge.
You couldn't make a parody of that.
No, if people don't know, explain what we're on about, because people might be going,
it's a tourist advert, isn't it? Where it gets off a helicopter in Dubai. And it's just really beige.
It's like, yeah, it's just like a tourist advert, which is in itself is always going to be a bit cringe. But then you've got him in this helicopter going around Dubai, and it is just everything you would expect from Michael Owen in a helicopter.
I mean,
selling Dubai.
Why is Michael Owen selling Dubai? Everyone wants to have, like, you're talking about Channel 4. Like, why are you getting him involved? You know what he's capable of in front of a microphone. What is he going, like, I would never associate Michael Owen with Dubai. He's not Michael Palin. do you know what I mean? Come here, I've done some kick-ups.
I think corporate gigs are weird though, aren't they? Because I think sometimes in the corporate world, it's like who's recognisable, who would people go, oh, that's him, I know him, and he's a well-known face, isn't he?
What? Because like other businessmen want to go and stay at a hotel like Michael's and Michael. No, they don't. It's weird. Nobody said, you know what? Where should we go tonight? Where should we stay in Dubai, love? I don't know. I'm going to check where Michael Owen stayed. Nobody does it. Nobody does it.
When I'm shopping for helicopters, I look at where Michael Owen got his helicopter from.
Yeah.
Because that's where you want to get them from.
Where do you buy helicopters from?
The helicopter shop, I don't know.
The Arndale.
Do you remember that? Who was that guy who nearly got cancelled over an helicopter? Everyone went for him. Oh, what's his name? Tom Zanetti. Do you remember that?
Nah.
Do you remember what happened? The internet's horrible sometimes, isn't it? Like,
it's more horrible than it is now.
Yeah, it's like sometimes, man, you can't do anything. Like Tom Zanetti, he did a tweet once. He'd gone to get on a train in London, and the ticket inspector or the people at the gate wouldn't let him on. Do you think you might remember this? They wouldn't let him on because he didn't have a ticket, right? Now the thing to remember here is just because you're famous, the rules still apply to you. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not like you can go, oh, well, I'm a DJ and I'm Tom Zanetti, so I haven't got a ticket, but that's okay. Like, if you haven't got a ticket, you ain't getting on the train, right? I get that. That's a rule. Do you know what I mean? And I think that same rules apply to Tom Zanetti applies to me. It's fine. But anyway, so what he did was he went and tweeted, like, ticket inspector wouldn't let me on the train, so I went and got a helicopter down to London anyway. Haha, you little jelly bean, right?
Is that what you called him, a jelly bean?
Yeah, I remember it, right? So you think pretty, innocuous, isn't it? Like,
I love that.
Like, let me see if I can find it, actually. Because it's like, okay.
That's like shithousery, I'm all for that. I think that's brilliant. I'll show you.
Yeah. So, this is it. Right, so he's tweeted, met one of the worst examples of a job's worth arsehole in London today. Long story short, I couldn't find my tickets, panicked as train was going to leave, and he didn't let me on it. So within an hour of it leaving the platform, I got a helicopter to take me. Fuck you, you little jelly bean. Right? Now, the problem for this is it ended up in the... Have you ever seen that Didn't Happen in the Year Awards?
Yeah.
Right, ended up on there because he's posted a picture of him with the helicopter and the name of the helicopter, the number. People do research. They went and looked at it, realised that he hadn't been on the helicopter. That helicopter's grounded that day or whatever. They did the maths. It wouldn't have worked time-wise. To drive to the helicopter place would have took you 2 hours or whatever, and you wouldn't have got there anyway. So it was just nonsense, right? Which, like, 9 times I wouldn't have done that research. I'd have just gone.
No, you know why? Because you've got a life, Jay.
But people do. The internet comes for you, and it comes for you hard, right? So people have gone into this, worked out that none of this makes any sense. It didn't happen. Didn't happen in the Year Awards, and I didn't used to mind Didn't Happen in the Year Awards. They used to highlight some absolute corkers. You know, like, have you ever read some of the tweets?
I remember there was one about a kid doing something like that, about racism and all that.
Yeah. There was the one about the football teams, wasn't there? My 4-year-old. We were watching Saudi Arabia versus Russia. Yeah. And my 4-year-old says, which one's got the better human rights record? I've never felt so proud. I mean, I would never hit my children, but I'd come close to it if one of my kids asked me that when watching football. Like, shut up and go away.
What's the right answer?
That's a good point. You could have picked an easier one than that, couldn't you? I don't know. Pass. I hope it's a draw. So there was that, and I read it and I thought, oh yeah, these are funny, and these are people obviously lying, and some of them are outrageous, and it'd be like, my 2-year-old, has started reading Hamlet. I'm so proud. And like, well, they've not, have they? But then it started getting a bit silly, and I remember I read one where someone said, took my kids to McDonald's, get there, and they all start crying saying they wanted carrot sticks or a salad or something. So I ended up driving him to go and get him a salad, right? And they put it on Didn't Happen in the Year, and I thought, I've been there with kids when they're just being awkward.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that could happen. You know what I mean? Like, and it seemed like they were just getting onto anyone that said anything at one point.
It's not an exam. If someone's put a load of shit on a tweet, it's not the end of the world. I just think sometimes it can be a bit, I know toxic's a word, but how serious people take tweets and stuff. Oh, that couldn't, like I put a tweet out this morning about the Glazers saving £1 million a month because of the wage bill because all the players have left. And then within 2 seconds, someone said, oh, well, they're still on contract till the end of June, so they're still getting wages. I was like, all right. The proper, he might as well have pulled his tongue out. I was like, what do you want? A Shufty badge? She's dickhead.
Shufty badge, I love that. Do you know what I remember, right? I remember when I was at Q103, and this is when Twitter was starting to become a thing, and he sent me to, there was a school in Manchester, forgive me, I might be getting the school's name wrong, but I think it was Manchester School for Girls, or Grammar School for Girls, one of the girls' schools anyway. And they were letting off balloons for... in remembrance of all the women that had died due to honour killings, yeah?
Yeah.
So anyone that died of an honour killing, this is a balloon to show the support for them. These young girls, a lot of them from the Asian communities were saying, like, you know, stand in solidarity and highlighting the issue. A lovely gesture, right? You'd have to be an absolute moron to have an issue with it.
Try and find the fault in it.
Yeah, like, for me, it's a heartwarming little story. It's obviously serious to it because it's sad that this is happening, but it's good that these girls are aware of it and they're highlighting the awareness and they're coming together. And I think there was one of the girls at the school had been a victim of it, or there was some association. So I did a tweet from the Q103 news account of these girls releasing the balloons into the air. You know, thought nothing of it. First reply, that's a good way to remember the dead. Littering. Fucking disgrace. And I'm like, and it wasn't even a joke. And I'm like, what? What are you on about? Do you know what I mean? That's when I thought, this was early days, so I thought, you're always going to get that. You can't win, can you? And I've noticed, like, me and you've had it on Twitter as well, like, loads of times, and I just ignore now. I just mute. Or block. I mute, right? But I mute so many people, right? Honestly, I'll tell you how many people I've got muted. It's like, it is quite high. And one day I was on the Stretford Paddock account, and I went onto my own account, and I've seen all these replies on my own account that I've not seen before because I've muted them all. I think you showed me one the other week, and I was like, who are all these people? And I realised it's because I've got all these people muted. That I couldn't see them. Yeah, so I've got, it doesn't tell me how many I've got. I think there's a couple of hundred muted anyway.
Do you have that filter option on yours? You know, because like you haven't got a blue tick.
What's the filter option?
Like you have a filter option for if people haven't registered telephone numbers. And
no. Is that have you got that?
Yeah.
So what? Someone has to register their number to be able to chat to you.
You can have that option on your, and then if not, then you can't see any of their content.
Right, okay. Because I think my phone, was registered. I mean, my life's an open book on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm always putting, my things I shouldn't put, where I live, where I'm about, where I am, when we're away.
Just in case anyone's got an assassination attempt. Like, I know where Jay will be outside Old Trafford.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We're all on holiday in a minute. You know where I live because I tweeted it the other day. And it is a bit like, sometimes you think like, maybe you should chill out a bit with it.
Speaking of horrible tweets, did you see the so-called journalist who put something out at the weekend about how disgusted she found people who were pushing back single mothers, pushing prams in designer clothes and obviously on benefits?
I can find this person
because I was like, how on earth does... I mean, it was such an outlandish sort of comment, but you can't tell someone's not got a job by them pushing a pram.
No. What does that mean?
Yeah.
That's a nonsense, isn't it? Because this person...
I don't mind. She doesn't work for anyone. This journalist. She's got a PayPal account as part of her bio because she wants the general public to pay for her to spout toxicity like that.
I saw this because she was trending this girl, and about after that tweet about benefits, people on benefits.
Yeah.
And I looked on that. Came up on my timeline. Quite a few people who were retweeting. I've blocked her, but I'll just unblock her just to read this, and then I'll block her again. So yeah, it was just toxic. Immigrants and people on benefits, and just laying into him, and then just looking at it, and she's talking about sexualization of children at pride parades. It's just a cesspit of right wing drivel. So I saw that, but what made me laugh is she'd replied to herself, hadn't she, with a burner account by accident, and she'd forgot to change the account. So, she'd obviously had a burner account to agree with herself. That's a really good point, or defending herself, and then forgot to change back. So it's obvious that's a burner account. Simon Arnold, I think the guy's name is, and that account doesn't exist anymore because everyone's screenshotting it. Because that's the thing, the screenshot now, you can't just delete a tweet, can you?
No.
The evidence is there, bro. You got to be quick.
I was about to say the amount of terrible puns I put out there, and I was deleted it and got still got it.
What do you delete tweets a lot?
Yeah.
I do. I delete. Do you know what I delete? Do you know what else my worst ones? When I'm always calling people thick, And I've called people thick, see you next Tuesdays, and then I've read my tweet and realised there's a spelling mistake.
See, I'd own that. That's hilarious.
I remember once I said I'd quote tweeted using some right wing troll or whatever, and I'll put something like this person is thick as pig shit, and I read the tweet and I realised I spelled like 2 words wrong in the tweet because I was like angry and I wrote it and I thought delete that. I don't need that in my life.
I try not to buy it anymore though.
I think
my employers have sort of tempered my ability to buy it on people's horrible tweets.
But what is that like for you though? Because
working for the BBC?
No,
and
not
being
that.
able to do that.
Yeah, because
it's chilled me out, to be honest.
Me and you argued once on Twitter about the FIFA Club World Cup was changed. Right?
Yeah.
Do you remember? It used to be the what was it?
It was the FIFA World Club.
Yeah, it was that, right?
And then I said, well, it's not. Wasn't that when he won it?
Yeah, and I said, I know it was like but now it's called that. But then this went on for ages because you were like, yeah, but it wasn't that when they won it.
You know, after about 2 tweets into that argument, I was like, I don't care, but I'm not losing this argument.
I know. And there was one bit where you're like, as far as I'm concerned, that was an Intercontinental Cup. And I was like, me and you go back and forth. And
it's when other people start getting involved, thinking me and you are hating each other.
That's what me and your mates. And there's that stubbornness, and we know each other. And part of me's going, you know what, he's got a point, but I can't. I'm like you, I ain't backing down. Like, this guy, he's mad if he thinks I'm backing down. This is all for like all morning. And then other people get involved. And then you get people involved who don't know.
Yeah, calling you idiot.
Yeah. And then they start trying to back you up, like, oh, Scotty, tell him to fuck off. Or Jay, tell him to block that dickhead. I'm like, and then, well, that's his me mate.
Yeah, calm down.
Yeah, don't worry about it. And then you figure out.
But it can spiral, though, can't it, man?
Yeah, but that's 2 mates fucking about.
Yeah.
But we've both had it, haven't we, where we've had seriousness.
Yeah.
Like, I've had it where, and there's certain things, my missus used to get wound up when she'd see things like people saying shit to me, and I'd be like, just ignore it. And you've had it as well. I mean, there was one time I remember where you took a step back off Twitter, and I was dead angry on your behalf.
Yeah,
I did as well. I was like, I'm not fucking going on Twitter anymore. So, because I tweet a lot. Like, after 2 days, people were like messaging me like, "Are you okay? Are you alive?"
Pitched on the side of milk cartons.
Yeah, said on CJ Motty. He's not tweeting for fucking 24 hours.
No, I appreciate that solidarity, but I mean, that was the straw that brought the camel's back, really, because I just thought, I spoke to people I work with and they said to come off social media. I mean, it wasn't ideally the support I wanted, but they said, just take the heat out of it. So I did, and then. Just can't be asked getting into arguments with people I don't know. Life's a lot easier.
I had the wake up call for me was, this is no word of lie. I was on a school run, and I've been arguing about someone on Twitter with Marshall _1997 or someone who fake like was just a picture of Marshall Zavi or whatever. Just something daft like whether I don't know Ollie needed sacking or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember being on the school and going back and forth and pulling over with the kids in the back of the car because man was shaking with anger to send another tweet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's mad how it takes over.
Why is this taking over? I've got kids here, I need to get home. And it's, and I'm just pulling over the car while I tweet this faceless account over an argument I'm not even that invested in anyway. And what's the outcome there? What's the goal?
Win?
What's the goal?
Yeah.
What do I mean? Them going, you're right, Jay, or what?
See, but I mean, compare that to me and you arguing on Twitter over something. Like we've had a laugh about it, or
and it gets to the point where with me and you can tell like this is because we know each other. We're just not going.
Yeah,
this could have gone on for days.
But I mean, if you conceded that, my outcome is that because I know you in person, I can hold it over you. I said, remember that time?
If you'd have conceded, I'd have screenshot it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'd have made it my header
and had an anniversary every single year. But when you're arguing with strangers, you don't get anything from them.
You don't.
You will never ever find anyone. If anyone's got please let us know in the comments. If anyone has ever backed down on an argument on Twitter, I want to see that because I've never known anyone to have their opinions changed. Everyone's dying on hills.
Everyone is like me and Steve. Obviously, Steve Paddock. I remember once on a Saturday arguing with him about Ashley Young, and it went on for hours. And then because he's got loads of followers, I had these people just trolling me, like hammering me. And I was that angry. I think me and her might be going out. I didn't want to go out. I was like, I'm staying in.
Bowl of ice cream on the couch.
Yeah. It was like, it was that bad. And that's the problem as well because it gets people piling on. And it goes back to our original point as well with some of the Michael Owen stuff. Because I suppose you've always got to be a bit conscious of it because you've got a bit of a following now as well, haven't you? and it's like almost you can't control as well when you tweet something what some people that follow you then do, because you might be quite measured in what you're saying.
Yeah.
It might encourage others to go, oh yeah, let's have a dig. And then I've had that where I've seen people sort of following up my argument with horrific comments.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm not into that at all. And, end up blocking them or whatever. And they think they're joining in with you. So it's just, it can be sort of...
It's all consuming, isn't it? Especially when you go down that sort of rabbit hole of replying to trolls or accounts and having arguments. It's different when you're having a sort of friendly debate with people over something. And it might be quite interesting to get over people's opinions. But it's just how voracious it is.
That's a good point. Do you ever end up following someone you've argued with?
Do I follow people I've argued with?
Have you ever done that? Because there's a couple of people.
Yeah. I mean,
there's like a couple of sort of right-leaning people, like Tory types.
Yeah.
Who I've argued. You're usually United fans, but me and them have gone back and forth, and I've actually thought, you know what? I get your argument. I don't agree with it, but I get it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's not been horrible. It's been like quite decent.
You know, the great late Anthony Bourdain, whose anniversary I think it is in a couple of weeks, he said something fantastic in one of his series, and it was that I don't have to agree with you to like you. And I think that's what a lot of people could get down with.
I think that's good. I remember me and I think it was Sam Lee, the journalist. Me and him went toe-to-toe once on Twitter. I wouldn't say toe-to-toe, we were arguing. I wasn't, it was just a bit of an argument about ownership and club ownership. And it was amicable and it wasn't horrible. And then it was good because I ended up doing a podcast with him about a week later.
Yeah.
And, it would have been a bit awkward if I'd been threatening each other.
But the thing is, it's hard to read context or tone in what is 140 characters. Yeah. You can't even get a bold. Or give us an underline to it.
Also, sarcasm, because me and you use sarky as well, that doesn't come across.
No.
Does it? So, like, I've had that.
Oh, God, the amount of times I had to refer to it's a sarcastic tweet, dickhead.
Yeah, I know. I get that all the time. It's like, I'm always like, no, I didn't really mean that. Do you know what I mean? Or then you just get fed up with explaining it, and you say something that's so outrageous you think everyone will get that. People will know.
Yeah.
We're not being serious, but then they still do. So on that, just rounding up that on the Michael Owen thing before we move on.
Any comments or?
I just wanted to. Oh, sorry, I'm getting confused there. Yeah, I mean, sorry, Simon Jordan. A lot of people going on about Simon Jordan. You know what? I think Simon Jordan taps into something deeper now. With Simon Jordan, I think there's this sort of reverence in this country sometimes that if someone's got a posh voice and uses big words, people think they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Because he speaks quite eloquently, doesn't he?
He's obviously been to a good school.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that he's clever.
No. Because his vocabulary is quite large and he sounds quite eloquent and posh. Doesn't mean he's clever.
No.
He's, and the things he says, by and large, I mean, I don't watch a lot or listen to a lot of sort of sport, but are nonsensical.
Yeah,
but it generates that debate, doesn't it? Which is, I think that's what they want.
That's the whole point, isn't it? Of talk sport. I mean, when they get hosts on, I imagine that's part of the interview, isn't it? How divisive can you be?
Yeah. James McManus says that's a great point, Scotty. More people should follow that mantra. Sorry. Tim Collins says one of the best chefs ever. It's funny. I've got a mate. I don't think it's the same one, called James McManus. And me and him used to argue on Twitter all the time as a Liverpool fan. I remember once I was at a press conference and someone said to me, "James McManus, is he your mate?" I see you two arguing constantly, and I think, because you can tell, Kai, when it's like there's someone you know. Santa Not says I delete my spelling mistake tweets sometimes. Those are the only ones usually I usually delete. Ryan Yanni says I was arguing with someone over Palestine. They were pro-Israel, and they ended up deleting all their tweets. I think that counts. Talk MU says love the show, lads. Big up, Talk MU. From the United Agenda. Mank Made Productions says I'm glad I'm not opinionated.
Yeah, he really is, Paul Ludden. From Mank Made, yeah. No, he's a lovely bloke.
Yes. Dan Oliver said, a good approach when you see things getting toxic is to say, we'll clearly never agree, but I respect your right to have an opinion. Stops people in their tracks, give you the moral high ground. See, I can't do that.
It doesn't exist, man. Where's this moral high ground? What does it look like? Where is it? Is it a hill?
There's a few looking at the latest news stories. There's quite a few doing the rounds. There's the court case have gone on today about Rwanda. We're sending people over to Rwanda. One thing I wanted to ask you about.
Have they got Michael Owen doing the adverts for it?
Hey,
standing at passport control.
Yeah, like, oh my God. Hey. Charles got involved, didn't he, Prince Charles? And I wanted to get your take on this because it's a bit weird, the royal family. the relationship.
This is the conversation in itself.
Yeah, right. Well, let's not go down that
Right.
road. But we haven't got a lawyer to get, you know, I don't know if you can get legal aid for getting libelled. Charles spoke out about it, didn't he? Apparently, he called it, you know, abhorrent or something. Or
Yeah.
I can't remember what he said. And then the right wing press have got mad because it's like the Royals getting involved in politics, and I just think. You're all the ones that back the Royals and want the Royals. So it's just like
just because they're not doing, just doesn't agree with your
well,
agenda.
I mean,
do I think that he should have he should have an opinion, shouldn't he? I was going to say he's a taxpaying member of the public, but that's not necessarily true. But you know, he's the prince of the country. He can have his opinion on what he wants.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish, to be honest, that they'd be more opinionated.
Really?
Yeah, why not? If I was a royal, I'd probably be more Harry than any of the others.
He's like, I think he's got the right idea though, because he can't really be doing with it anymore, can he?
No, but I mean, but up until him sort of putting his sword down or whatever they do when they leave the royal.
Was he a royalist in the 15th century? Fighting the Roundheads? Oh no, this Cavaliers.
Got off his horse.
Oh yeah, I can't remember. You know, Cromwell.
Yeah, got off his horse. Yeah, his helmet off. Chainmail down. And then like pissed off to America. But he's living his life, wasn't he, up until that point?
Yeah. Apparently, Prince Charles has privately called it appalling, the treatment.
Privately called it appalling?
Yeah, it's not private, is it? It's plastered all over the papers and everything. I don't know who's privately called it to. I don't know, man.
Didn't Nigel Farage come out and say something in response to it?
Nigel Farage, who's the biggest snowflake in the world. Did you ever see his video when he's moaning about the algorithm on Twitter? I mean, you spoke about that. Yeah. When he was like, he said he's not got any followers anymore because of the algorithm. I don't know what the algorithm is, but it's costing me all my followers.
That's it. I loved it when George Galloway got that thing about the Russian, that he works for Russian media. Did you see that? That was hilarious.
So Nigel Farage is saying, unless Prince Charles wants to destroy the monarchy, he had better shut up fast.
What?
Yeah.
How is it destroying the monarchy? I can't see any angle how that destroys the monarchy.
And it's just nonsense, isn't it? It's just people. This is the whole thing. Like, if they're saying something that you don't like what they're saying, then you're going to turn against them.
Yeah.
Whereas if he was to come out and say, "Oh, I think it's great sending people to Rwanda," Nigel Farage would be happy to hear what the monarchy's got to say. Me personally, and I know that not everyone agrees. I think the monarchy is just a ridiculous idea. Personally, I'm not a big royalist. I get that some people are, and I've seen it. I covered it when I was with Q103 when Prince William and Kate Middleton, Princess Kate, whatever, Duchess of Cambridge, came to Manchester and he came to hospice. And I've seen that, and I get it, because some people are royalists and they love it, and you know what I mean. It means a lot to them. But for me, I just think it's a bit daft. But
I mean, I agree with you, but just to counter it a little bit with the Jubilee, you can't say that it wasn't nice seeing like normal people just sort of getting behind it. It's not for me. We wouldn't get me doing the bunting thing and
my missus
cucumber sandwiches and that. But
and I was,
well, she was into it, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was beside herself when Prince Philip died, and I couldn't understand it. Honestly, she was like, "Oh, he's so cute."
He's so cute.
Yeah, that's what she said. He's so cute.
What was cute about him?
I'm like, the guy's like 104. What are you on about? Why do you care so much? She was devastated. And then she had the bunting and the Union Jack paper plates and all that. And I was grateful because on our estate, the street behind us had a big street party, and our street didn't really have one.
Yeah.
The kids had a few bits out in the front of the garden, and I get it. But I think that the thing is, right, if you give anyone a couple of days off work, they're gonna get behind it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it don't matter who it is. But like, all the Queens give us an extra day off work. We all love the Queen.
I work for myself. I don't get any day off. I don't have bank holidays. I'm self-employed. Where's mine? I want my money. My morning off.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, you're right, I get it. There was a lot of people coming out there, and there's a celebration, and it's like the royal wedding, wasn't it? I remember covering that as a reporter.
Yeah,
and there is all that sort of stuff. But then again, there's part of me that thinks, and I don't want to go backwards because I know it's like a couple of weeks ago, we're sort of done with it. But then you look at it and you think, loads of people's skin. There's a cost of living crisis. I sound like I'm on my soapbox a bit, but homelessness is rife. Lots of people are choosing, riding on buses because they can't afford to.
I agree.
And then we're spending money on this.
Right. I agree with that. And there has been money spent, but there's been money misspent elsewhere more. So
not to just agree with everything you're saying, but I can't disagree with that because billions.
It all doesn't come out of one pot. Do you know what I mean? There's money to be distributed around.
I get the idea that something can be uplifting, something can be worthwhile, something can give you that little bit of a boost that you need. You know what I mean? When times are tough and stuff. I struggle with the rules. Do you know what I mean?
Although, I mean, Charles comes across as a decent bloke, really. Doesn't he? I mean, he does quite a lot for the climate change and stuff like that.
I mean, that's what I mean, and I think that's the problem some people have got is like you go, Prince Charles is saying, recycle and do things like that, and you think, well, hang on a minute, you're like a millionaire, lives you've got 12 homes or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've flown around in private jets, and you're telling me to make sure I put my plastics in the right bin. It's a bit hypocritical, do you know what I mean? But then the thing is, well, what should he do? Say nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
damned if you do, damned if you
there's
don't.
always that thing in there. It's just something. Santa Notch says, I celebrated Italian Republic Day on the Jubilee, the day Italy abolished their monarchy.
Yeah.
Ollie Aston says, just protecting class discrimination, that's all the monarchy is. Do you think it's here to stay, the monarchy?
Yeah. It's been here for a long time.
There's rumours in there maybe, it might
peter out.
Yeah, right. Because you might get more and more people that are against it until eventually it becomes sort of untenable almost.
When's the last time that happened in history? France?
Russia, 1917, I think, would be one.
Oh, the big with
I don't know. Santa Notch has said the Italian, I don't know when the Italian one...
that was 1800s.
Oh, was it? All right, sorry. So the Russia one was the 20th century, sorry. When was the Spanish one? Is that... Oh, they still got a king, haven't they? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't... Yeah, it has happened, hasn't it? It's just...
Who do we have on the money then? Who would you have on the money? Right, you got a fiver there. You can have anyone on the fiver. Who would you have? And it's not a royal.
That's a really good question, that.
Who would you have?
Who would you have? Get involved in the comments.
If you could put anyone
let
on
us know.
the
And hit that like button as well if you're watching. Hit the like button.
Subscribe and that. And if anyone, that's right, innit? They have to subscribe.
Yeah.
Don't cost you anything. Tell your mum. Right.
Subscribe and that. Yeah, you're right. Who would you have on? Who would I have on the money?
We'd get on there, James Corden.
No, not him.
See, I understand why people like the Rotter Family more than they do why people like James Corden. I've seen Cats, mate.
Is it bad?
I've seen it about 8 times.
Why have you seen it 8 times?
Because of my kids. And if you're watching, mate, we're not watching it ever again.
I'd have got one.
Got Kwan?
Yeah.
On a fiver?
Yeah, definitely.
Why got Kwan?
He's a nice guy, man. Everyone likes him. Do you know what I mean? And he's like modern Britain.
He's not been in anything for ages, has he?
He was filming round here the other week. My mum went mad because I didn't go and get a picture with him. I said, I can't interrupt his filming. To go, yeah, I got. Can I just get a selfie?
I bet you if it was a Love Island person, you would have done.
You never forget anything, don't you? You're horrible. Who would you... Miss Man United, it says Marouane, yeah.
Marouane Fellaini.
Yeah, there's surprises there.
You could have like a shaped note where it had the afro. Just like...
Yeah. That's a good one from Crimson Kate. It's actually a very good answer. And I don't know if this has happened already. Alan Shorey.
Isn't he on it?
Oh, is it?
Maybe. Because didn't they do some vote about who's a top 100?
I mean, he should be.
Yeah.
Santa Not says, Gawk on a fiver, random book and roll with it. Matthew Sargent said, Corden on the money would be what forced me to go cashless. Why does, talk about Michael Owen, right? Everyone hates Michael Owen. When he's pretty beige. What is it about... Me and you have argued about this on Twitter.
About James Corden?
Yeah, I remember this one, bro. Because I said made a mistake about 9 years ago tweeting something like, James Corden cracks me up, right? Because I was watching Gavin and Stacey.
Which is worse than The Big Bang Theory.
No, it's not. It's not.
Sasha?
No, I love Gavin and Stacey.
Sasha says she loves... She's Welsh. Oh, yeah. All right, I thought you... Oh, right, yeah. Yeah. Half Polish and half Welsh. Best of both worlds. I was watching Gavin and Stacey and I tweeted something because I thought Smith was funny and you was like, it's just a one note or one trick pony.
It's exactly the same, just comes in dead loud. Yeah. And that's that. He's made a career of it.
And then what happened was, after that, this was before the late night thing and the carpool karaoke and all that. Because even when he started doing that, people thought it was funny at first. And then when it was like, I remember someone did a tweet saying, Alexa, show me hell. And it was him and Ed Sheeran in the car singing carpool karaoke. And I thought, oh my God, yeah. So there is that backlash with James Corden, isn't there, where everyone now hates him.
Yeah, I was ahead of the curve with that one.
You led the way, didn't you?
Yeah,
But I don't, I don't have a massive opinion of him. He's a bit annoying, but I don't.
He's really annoying. It's not a bit annoying. I can't, honestly, it makes my blood boil and my skin crawl and all sorts of strange things.
Right. Right, so no James Corden on a note. Someone's put Flashburn 52's put Michael Owen on a $5. We're going to wrap it up there. Thanks to everyone who got involved in the chat as well.
Yeah, man.
Thanks to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. We've gone up in subs, haven't we?
2.45 at the beginning of the show. But yeah, like, subscribe, share on Twitter. If you want to, we've still got the Scotty and Motty email, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty and Motty at gmail.com.
Yeah.
If you want to send any emails in and we can read them out on the show. Share the link with your friends. Tell your mum.
Yeah. Tell your mum and your dad and everything. Thanks for watching.